Hey guys, well I just got done with a DoorDash delivery shift and I dropped off food for my last stop at like a small but quaint ranch house, and it did have some property. It even had like a horse on the side of the property, because parts of Florida off the coast, there's still a lot of farmland. But I'm sharing that with you because on the weekend a lot of people work on their house. Instead of enjoying their life and enjoying their time off, they're bound to their house and they're working on their house instead of working on their life. Now, as I say that, I have a DoorDash shirt on and I'm working. Technically I'm job, but I enjoy doing this. I do DoorDash on the side, and I enjoy it. I enjoy to drive around. I got my sunroof down and I'm in Florida, so it's great weather all year round. But I've often reflected, especially as a nomad, especially as someone who lives on the road full time. I live out of my car, I have for 2 years. I owned a house for 15 years, and what I learned over the course of 15 years owning a home is that in many instances, it owns you. You spend your weekends working on your house, renovations, cleaning your house, and that's what these people were doing when I dropped off the food. Their kids had actually ordered the food. They had like teenage kids, and the middle-aged parents were working on the house. The husband answered the door, and he had like spackle on his shirt and paint in his hair, and he looked exhausted, and he was like, "Food order? Who ordered food?" And then he's like, "Oh, it must have been my daughters." And he looked exhausted, and his wife was in the background like looking at like color palettes to paint the walls. I've been through that season of life and that phase of life, and that's why at this point in my journey I'm totally turned off by owning a house. Even if it's renting an apartment, or I'm actually have come around to, if someone wanted to settle to rent, if it was renting, it keeps you a level of flexibility. You don't build up equity. And if you're going to raise a family, if you're going to have a pony and all that, then, look, that's, maybe you should buy a house. So everyone's different, and I want to give everyone the freedom to do whatever makes them happy in life. There's nothing wrong with owning a house. I can't knock it. I did it for 15 years. But I am so thankful to be free from the burden of working on my house on the weekend. And to live a freeing, simplified life where I don't have many materialistic possessions is a blessing, because this life can be harsh even when you have a good, and I believe I have a good. Look, I have my health, I'm middle-aged, I live in America, I live in Florida. It took me a long time to get to Florida. I love Florida. And I'm living my dream in many instances. DoorDash has actually benefited me too. It's played into my nomadic lifestyle. It's given me alternative ways to make a living if at some point in the future I don't do corporate world or something. I'm just saying, on the weekends, and I guess we try to enjoy our lives. I don't know. The look I saw on that guy's face, it wasn't enjoyment. I mean, technically I'm working, so I can't judge. I'm doing DoorDash right now on my off time. I work a full-time job during the week, but so I could say, "Look, Sam, you're working 2 jobs. Are you really enjoying your weekend?" But I am. I've spent a couple years on the weekends just walking on the beach and doing different things. Now I'm in a season where I like to just fill my time with productive things that make me happy. The guy answered the door. He didn't look happy. But, again, I saw him for 5 seconds. Can I tell? I can't tell. But for me, renovations and cleaning your house and working on your house on the weekend, to me, it's like a dagger in your soul. It doesn't inspire me. And I'm documenting that because, for me, living in my car and living a simple life, it still inspires me. I'm still in love with it. Now, you can say, "Hey, Sam, look, you've only been living a simple life for 2 years. You lived a life of owning a house for 15 years, so maybe you're going to get tired of the nomad life in 15 years. That's possible. But even when I bought a house, almost when I bought it, and it was the whole closing process and getting inspections, I remember wanting to throw up then. I remember even during the closing, the weight of that responsibility and the burden of that ownership, it was already weighing on my mind. I remember the feeling. And throughout the course of the 15 years having my house, there were some moments of joy, but it was a huge obligation to keep entangled in the rat race, to make more money, to spend more money on the house. As soon as you buy a house, you have to fix it how you want, paint it how you want, furnish it how you want. And it's just, it's never ending. So as I make this video on a Saturday on the weekend, I think at least 90% of society will spend the majority of their weekend working on their house, not working on their life. And I don't say that in judgment, because what I've learned in life is, look, everyone's got to do what's best for them. But I'm thankful for the simple life. I don't regret selling my house. I don't regret living in my car. Some people that I've met on YouTube have transitioned to a mobile, simple life, and they have gone back to an apartment or house. Some I still see, out there living a simple life. They may have changed RVs or changed cars, but for me, no matter what the future holds, even if at one point I do buy a property or something, I will always live a simplified, below my means life, God willing. Because I have found so much value in the simple life. And part of it is the extra time to do things, even if it's DoorDash or even if it's walking on the beach, whatever, to do things on the weekend or whatever day of the week, even the weekdays, to do things that I want to do, not to work on my house, because that's not what I want to do. And that's what I want to share in this video.